Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 16 of the League One Review Show. Tonight I am joined by Ian Bradley, a Rotherham fan. We do welcome them on the channel sometimes. Good evening, Ian. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
Hope you're doing well, mate.
Top of the league, of course I'm doing all right.
That's the only one I'm giving you. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
We will hopefully be getting joined by Jake Punkchef 41. He's just having a few technical issues at the minute, but hopefully he'll dip in a short while. But luckily we've got Ian here with us so we can talk through League One. So Ian, tell us a little bit about yourself and the channel and podcasts that you support, mate.
Well, I've been sort of doing a little bit of work for D3D4 Football, which is a YouTube channel, website and podcast that come. The podcast is every Sunday morning, and it's a website and that just concentrates on the bottom two tiers of the English League football, League 1 and 2. So therefore, I mean, I could be at Rotherham one week, and I could be somewhere like Mansfield the next, or Stevenage, or somewhere like that. And it just tries to highlight that the Premier League and Championship aren't just everything. So we try to sort of like shine a light on the lower leagues.
Which I think it definitely needs, because it's not too bad being in lower leagues, is it?
Not at all. I enjoy League One for obvious reasons.
Fantastic football, some fantastic teams.
I'm not so fussed about the Championship because we never do well in it. But there you go.
Although, with the way that you're playing this season, I think the Championship, if you go up there, you're probably set up as a much stronger squad and potential of staying in that division.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a much stronger squad this season than last. And we seem to have got, touch wood, with quality cover in every position from goalkeeper to striker. So, yeah, I think we could.
Liz is in the chat. I bet he's enjoying League One.
I think we could survive in the Championship quite comfortably with the squad we've got. But obviously, January, we were worried about January because some of our players might be on the way. Hopefully
yeah, I think there'll be a number of Championship teams with their eyes on some of the Rotherham squad, especially as well as other players within League One as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So if you are new to this, please get your comments in the section down below. We'll try and go through as many as we can. It is a jam-packed episode. We try to keep it to around half an hour. We always go over, but we've got Tuesday night fixtures and Saturday fixtures as well. So I think with Ian being the guest, it makes sense to start at Tuesday night's Rotherham United fixture at home to Gillingham. So massive win. Was it as comprehensive as the stats say, Ian, or have we missed something?
Well, the first half, I should say the first 35 minutes, Gillingham did quite well. They competed well. They took the lead with a very good goal from Ollie Lee. And they got in us faces and they stopped our creativity. But as soon as Freddie Ladapo fluked the equaliser, and it was a fluke, it was a mistake by Aaron Chapman, and he just walked it in. And then Mikel Miller got a goal straight after. I don't know what Steve Evans' half-time team talk were like, but they came out second half really dispirited, and we just blew them away. We could have scored a lot more than 5.
Yeah, you look at the shots. 29 shots at goal, 7 on target. A little bit disappointing with the only getting 7 on target out of those 29, but of those 7, 5 have found the back of the net. And like you say, you could have scored more in that second half and really put Gillingham much more to the sword. And I do worry for Gillingham this season. They're looking in a bit of a mess. So Jill's in the Blood TV, if you're watching, support is here for you as you put the support there for me this week. It's a tough boat to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really. Yeah, I can't really see a way out for Gillingham because they don't seem to have got any money. The squad's dispirited. The manager looks like he might not want to be there, and it just seems to be the internal politics are a bit toxic there.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's not looking good. I've noticed Jake is in the stream. I'll pop him in. You all right, Jake? Good evening.
Hey, mate. Right.
is here. So,
Hi, Jake.
if you are new to the channel or you're new to this stream, Pub Chef 41 on YouTube, Talking Wednesday podcast. All the links to Ian and Jake are in the description down below. So now you're here, Jake, we will hit straight on to Sheffield Wednesday's midweek fixture, which was a respectable 0-0 draw at Portsmouth. Tell us about it, mate.
A very good draw against a very informed Portsmouth team, especially when we go down to 10 men. Darren Moore making us hard to beat. He's making us very interesting how we play. And you mentioned it a while back when we got him. He'll make teams hard to beat. We don't go enough. And we're getting that, mate. But we're 12 unbeaten, 11 unbeaten with that one. And it's setting a precedent. And with that entire team, no recognised centre back in the entire team. One, maybe two. That's it. And to get a draw against them was superb. Bailey Peacock-Fowl was amazing. He really is. I know I've come on and said at times that I think he's a bit weak, but I think he has belt. But the Beltway is unplayable. And it's just one of those things. It's nice to see us on this really good run at the minute. And yeah, one shot on target, 8, you see theirs. But we steadied the pressure, and right near the end, Bailey stays, it was a red card, but at the end of the day, it's one of those ones where if you can play with 11 men and not get beat, but you can do it with 10, you're showing that you've got some resolve and defensive stuff ready to go.
Yeah, like you say, that made it 11 games unbeaten for Sheffield Wednesday, 12 on Saturday, so going in the right direction, but not quite at Rotherham standards with 20 games, but we'll come on to that in a little bit. But you're far above the standards of Doncaster Rovers.
Especially on Tuesday night. Goal scorers. No one else, the goal scorers. Ian just got a goal scorer coming out there. Can we lend some?
We need some first, Jake.
Well, we'll see what we can do. I think Coyote might be going out on loan in January. Josh Coyote, because he's not getting a regular start. He's coming on as sub in a game or two, but probably he could be going out. And also, this might interest Dan, Kieran Sadlier. There's a possibility that he's not altogether 100% happy at Rotherham either. So
I'll take him back at Donny because we're missing. We're missing that outlet on the wing. So I'd take Sadlier back. I think he probably had his best spell of football at Donny Rovers before he got the move to Rotherham. So yeah, I'd take him back if he's available.
Yeah. Well, watch this space. It might happen.
So on to the Rovers game on Tuesday night, and I had us down for a heavy defeat against Oxford, a decent-looking Oxford team. They're starting to pick up, and they're beating the teams in and around them that they struggled to do in previous seasons. So I had us down as a heavy 4-1 defeat. The positivity wasn't there, and to be fair, first half we were not at the races. It was poor first goal to concede. The ball looks like it's going to go out of play. Two defenders look to go for the ball together, and then they both stop, and then the Oxford player just manages to kind of preempt that lack of communication. I think I went for a second then.
You did a bit.
Yeah, I think you did.
Sorry, my internet is struggling. We're all having slight technical issues today. We will hopefully get through this 30 minutes. So yeah, the poor first half, lack of communication from two defenders for the first goal. But then the second half, we grew into the game, a bit more fight in the second half. Brandon Horton scores a decent goal. That's 2-2 for him. But James Henry finished us off with a superb strike on the 87th minute and broke everybody's hearts. But a fairly even game, shots-wise, possession-wise, Oxford had the better of us. And to be fair, they looked like they had another gear to go to if they needed to. And at that point, I was looking at the table thinking we're in some serious bother here. But then a little bit more positive on Saturday, but we'll get to that one in a bit. Moving on to the Fleetwood game against Bolton. So Fleetwood Nappers will be very, very happy. They ended their 8-game run without a win, and pretty emphatically against Bolton. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
Yeah, beat the best team in League One. Well, there you go. Yeah. Actually, Napper's video is superb. Napper's video for this one is superb.
Yeah,
his head really comes off. Yeah,
he's a great content creator.
Yeah, really good. Is
Anything to add, Jake?
It's nice to see Napper's happy. But it was quite an even game. The stats say quite even, but Fleetwood just needed that kick in the arm, didn't they? Kind of just to get them going. And hopefully they'll give them the confidence to get going. But Bolton are just making their own things. In the best in the league, and in the same week he said that, he lost his captain to Stockport. They're a mess.
Not quite the best in the league, are they? They're not the Real Madrid of League One, anyway.
Oh, I've got something for that later. Just you wait and see.
Moving on to the Charlton game, and to be fair, I'd say Charlton are one of the best teams in League One at the minute since Jackson took over. Fantastic form, another 2-0 against an underperforming Ipswich. So, being new to the stream, Ian, thoughts on Ipswich? We've had our say, me and Jake, about Ipswich. Are you on the same page as us, where you think that they should be doing much better?
Yeah, they should, but having said that, I think it was a terrible knee-jerk reaction to sack Paul Cook, because Ipswich have got a reputation of giving managers time, and they haven't given him nearly long enough. Yes,
this is a new ownership structure, though, isn't it? It's not the Ipswich's old, so they're wanting to. They want results now, and they want to see what's happened. But carry on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
It's absolutely fine. No. The thing is, you've got owners in this country, like the Ipswich owners, like the class of '92 at Salford, and it's just living proof that throwing money at it doesn't always bring instant success.
No,
you need
needs
the
time,
team
doesn't
to
it?
gel. You need, of course it does. Yeah. A word on Charlton, though. I can't understand why they haven't given Johnny Jackson the job permanently.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah.
Liz has touched on it as well. If they were going to give him the job, they would have done already. Yeah. It's strange because he's getting the best out of the players they've got. So,
are they waiting for like a January time to see what players he come to with them and say, right, I want this, and then go, well, we can't afford it? It's weird. Just give him the job. He's doing it.
Yeah, he's doing it very, very well. 2-0 win at home to Ipswich on Tuesday night. One of the big results for Tuesday night was Cheltenham against Cambridge, two teams that came up from League Two and have settled into life in League One fairly well. But yeah, bad night at the office for Cheltenham. Joe Ironside.
Well, he just said he did what his namesake is. Ironside. He's an absolute. I was worried for Cambridge when they came up when they lost Muller. I was where the goal comes, and they all stepped up, haven't they? They don't look phased by this league. Well,
actually, when they lost 3-1 to us, they impressed me, Cambridge. I think they played really well, and they had us on the rack for a long period in the second half. And they play some good football. They're certainly not going to be anywhere near the drop zone.
No, I wouldn't expect it, no. It depends if Ironside's still there come the end of January, I think. It's going to be a tough one, especially with this January transfer period. Teams are going to want the best players from League One. I mean, I hope Donny are in for some of them because we need goals sooner rather than later. But yeah, you'd think somebody scoring regularly.
Someone's going to pick someone up, aren't they? It's like you look at who's scoring at the minute for teams, and it's like it really is that whole kind of situation where you've got some really good players who are probably ready to do it in the Championship. And January is the time where they normally go, and then you see what teams can do.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting month, put it that way. Moving on to Crewe against Lincoln. This was a damaging result for Donny Rovers because this put us rock bottom on Tuesday night. And I don't know if you've seen the penalties. Any thoughts on the first one?
The first one was a bad decision. I don't even think it was a foul, the first one. The second one was an absolute stone jug penalty. There's no complaints about that. But the first one was iffy in the extreme.
Yeah, then again, I'm on the same page as you there, Ian. Very soft.
I know this is Tuesday night game, but penalty decisions over the last couple of days, even in the Premier League, and they've got VAR, have been mental.
Yeah, very questionable. But Mikel Mandron, he can only do what he can do. The penalty's been given, and he slotted them both away very well. And Lincoln are another team that I worry for a little bit. Starting to get dragged into the bottom four, and we were talking before we came on air, me and Ian. We thought that they'd be much more comfortable.
I thought they'd be up this season, considering how they did and progress and kind of thing. It's Lincoln a weird one because I would have thought they would have been able to push on, but it's like they've lost some sort of momentum. I don't know what the momentum they've lost is, but it's not there this season. Yeah.
Thinking the same, Ian?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't really understand. Yes, they've lost players. I understand that. But it's quite, Sinsel Bank is quite, with the air raid sirens and everything, quite intimidating for opposing side. But even that seems to have dropped off. Same with attendances as well. I don't know what's...
I wonder...
The Stacey West podcast aren't happy.
No, they're not, are they? I wonder
they're not happy at the moment.
I wonder if the start of the season's kind of got rocked a little bit with what happened with Michael Appleton. So having that whole go through the camp, it may have affected it mentally. You never know.
Yeah, possibly. But like you say, it seems from an outsider looking in that something's not quite right at that club at the minute. We expect them to be doing much better than what they are, but they are slowly getting dragged into the dogfight towards the bottom end of League One. A team at the other end of League One is Wycombe Wanderers. They seem to be going about the business fairly well, fairly quietly, under the radar a little bit. Brandon Hanlon and Gareth McCleary scoring in the 2-1 win against Burton. We'll come on to Burton in a little while. Ian will tell us a little bit more about them from Saturday, but they're one of those funny teams that can damage you. And a little bit of hope was given on Tuesday night, but they just couldn't quite pull it back to the to get the point away from home, which would have been a good point at Wycombe.
Yes, Wycombe, they just grind results out, don't they? By hook or by crook, they grind results out. They don't seem to be absolutely walloping teams, but they seem to be getting the odd goal to beat teams. And whatever they're doing that, they're doing fine, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Ticking over, getting the points on the board, and that's all they really need to do throughout the season. And then hopefully they're in and around that top 6 fight towards the last couple of games and then push on from there. Moving on to Sunderland against Morecambe, and another high scoreline on Tuesday. There were a fair few 5 goals scored. There was Rotherham, Cambridge and Sunderland. And Sunderland, you feel like this has got to be the season where they go up. Or I think some serious ramifications can come from staying down in League One again. But Johnson's 1-year anniversary was met by a 5-star display from the lads on the pitch.
It's only recently they were talking about Sunderland fans wanting him gone. They were saying they won't want him anymore. He's not doing the job. Sunderland's a weird one because on their day they can demolish teams, and then the next day they just don't seem like they want to be there up for the fight. I don't know if that's a mental thing with their team or the expectation gets to some of the players, but they're very Marmite in how they play as well, because I thought we'd get battered by them. It was easy.
Yeah. Well, exactly. When they came to our place, they were dreadful, absolutely dreadful. I mean, 5-1 flattered Sunderland when they were at our place, but when they click into gear, they look unstoppable. I do fear for Morecambe though, because if Cole Stockton doesn't score, they don't just seem to have anything else really.
Yeah, there's nobody chipping in with goals.
Backwards. It's a shame. Yeah,
they started so well. They started great, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
And if they lose Stockton in January or if they lose him to injury, where's the goal threat? Where is it? Because it doesn't seem there.
Yeah, it's a tough one. As you say, I think Stockton's the key for Morecambe. If he's scoring, they're going to do well. But if he's not there, be that left in January, injured, or if he just doesn't get on the score sheet because he's having a poor game, I do worry for them this year. Hopefully from a Rovers perspective, they're one of the teams that continue to struggle. But yeah, we've got Sunderland just after Christmas on Sky as well. So hopefully, as you two guys have said, they didn't perform too well in South Yorkshire. Hopefully that's
Keep it going.
Yeah. Only a couple of games left for Tuesday. We've got Accrington Stanley against Wimbledon, and an FA Cup win for Wimbledon has clearly given them a confidence boost that took into the league with a comfortable 2-0 win at a tough place to go.
Accrington Stanley is always a hard team to beat, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're set up well, and if you can get out there with a result, you've done well.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
Ian,
to be quite honest, both of these teams are really set up to survive in League One. Both of them are quite difficult and frankly awful to play against. They're big, physical, committed. They've got good footballers in them, but they also know how to scrap the way through a game. And I think both teams will be okay. I can't see either of them being anywhere near the relegation dogfight, to be honest.
Yeah, they both seem to have that survival instinct in League One. Yeah. You're one of the teams with that consistency in terms of a manager being in charge for a long time. Accrington Stanley are another one. I think that stability is a massive positive at this level to have that.
I can't really imagine Accrington without John Coleman, to be honest.
No.
He's been there so long, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think that's invaluable at this level to have that philosophy drilled into players. They find some absolute gems. So, as you say, two teams there set up well for survival in League One. On to Friday night's games. We've got Wigan 2, Shrewsbury 1. Wednesday night's game, sorry, not Friday. And Wigan, they fight and they don't stop playing.
Yeah.
And they just do it, don't they?
Yeah. I thought Shrewsbury were going to get a very good point. Sorry, Jake, go on.
They know how to just turn it on, and they've got a never die attitude. I think that's been in store from last season. With everything that happened, it's like nothing can kill us. That didn't kill us, so we'll just keep the same momentum and attitude on the pitch.
Yeah, I agree.
They're just how many 90 plus minute goals do Wigan get?
It's insane, isn't it?
They got one against us. They get one against us to beat us 1-0 very early season. But they seem to be doing it every week now, getting a 90 plus whatever goal. They did it on Saturday to get a 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
That's a trait that you'd like to have for sure. It's better to be scoring late goals and conceding them.
Oh, don't I know it?
Yeah, from a Rovers perspective though, that 92nd minute goal was very welcomed because that kept Shrewsbury 6 points away from us and not 7, leading into a big game this Saturday between the two. And then the final midweek fixture was MK Dons against Plymouth. There's normally a couple of MK Dons fans in the chat, so they may pop up over this one. But yeah, MK Dons starting well, going 1-0 up, but Conor Grant getting the equaliser just after the hour mark. I don't know, have you seen the video circulating online with the Plymouth fan celebrating the equaliser? And he jumps onto the netting.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny.
It's hilarious.
Superb. Anybody watching, if you've not seen it, please try and find it. He just kind of celebrates so much. He jumps onto the netting which covers the seat, thinking that it's tight and tied. It's not, and he just disappears. It's hilarious. If I remember, I will retweet it.
A draw between MK. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's
a draw between.
Got it.
Go for it.
This were nailed on the draw, really. Two good teams cancelling each other out.
Yeah, I think they've cancelled each other out, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plymouth are now going to be interesting, though, because if it's true, the bloke who's there is the brain behind them both. And Ryan Lowe was the man manager. Now, if that's true, you might be brilliant. But I like what the Plymouth chairman came out and said. It was nice. He said, I don't like all the abuse he's getting. It's not right. At the end of the day, I'm gutted he's gone, but I'm happy he's gone as well. It'll improve him. And we always knew we were never going to keep him with the run he was on. So better to see him go and say thank you for what you tried to and try and improve. They got the key element there. that know the philosophy that he was trying to instill to keep it going. So instead, they still got that sense of understanding and communication to keep it going.
Yeah, definitely. So we're now 25 minutes into the half an hour. It's always going to be longer, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're now onto the Saturday games. So we'll try and skip through these. We've talked about each team a little bit during the midweek fixtures, but if there's anything that jumps out, by all means, say what you want to. But we'll start with the Burton trip to Rotherham. So the floor is all yours, Ian. Tell us about this game, which took you to 20 games unbeaten.
Well, pouring rain, horrible conditions. Rotherham first half could have had 5 or 6. They only got the 1. Smith could have had a hat trick. He missed 2 sitters. Ladapo missed a sitter. We got a goal up through a clever back heel by Freddie Ladapo. And then we just switched off on the back, just a through ball, and Kane Hebbins finished well. Half-time 1-1. Second half, Ladapo scored again, a good finish, 48 minutes. And then for the rest of the half, Burton tore us apart. They hit the post. They had loads of other chances. We had a 20-minute spell we couldn't get out of our half. And then going towards a 2-1 conclusion around about the 84th minute, Burton defender passes it back to the keeper, obviously thinking he's going to control it and whack it back up the field, but he didn't. He caught it. So it were a back pass.
Yeah.
So we had a free kick about 5 yards from the goal line, all the Burton players on the line, and it got tapped to Dambalis, and who just slotted it in, 3-1, game over. But the Quest highlights show a different thing, that like it was a 3-1 stroll. It was anything but.
There we go. So Burton unlucky, just didn't take the chances. But that third goal, I do like goals like that where you see the full squad all on the goal line, and it's all about the attacker finding that gap. I thought he was going to fire it high into the top of the goal, into the roof of the net, but he's found that gap along the floor, Barlasser, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So
he's had a fantastic season. Yeah, very good. Long may it continue.
Your squad mate is having a fantastic season. It's painful to watch. But no, fantastic result for you guys, and it keeps you top of the tree going in towards Christmas. We'll come back to Sunderland. We will go to a good result for the Rovers. We'll skip on for Jake to take the floor with a 2-0 win at Crewe, which has helped Doncaster.
Thank you.
Real Madrid.
Just to turn around and say, don't give us ammunition because we'll use it against you. I understood where the manager was coming from. We've got a really good team, but as everyone's keep telling me, Barry Bannon is a cheat code in this league, and he proved it again. Absolutely jinking run and just buried it. He doesn't score a lot either. Like that's something stupid. Like I think like his 10th goal from open play. The rest are all penalties. So I'd like to see him score more. And we rode our luck a little bit because I don't think it was a soft penalty to give, but I can understand why it got given. But it's a fantastic save. It really is. To save it with your legs and then go to your left and still have the wear to do it. And he's just good at that, Bailey. Again, saving us again. And the problem with the game, it felt like one of the games, if we don't properly get into our stride, they could do something. These are the games that when they always seem to bottle. It's always the team right near the bottom, not being able, we think, oh, it's only Crewe, we can beat them. Lee Gregory getting that goal in was superb, though. It's a great header, but I think the only bit that annoyed me with the Wednesday fans on the pitch, it was very, very tin pot. I'm not going to lie, it was embarrassing. You're playing bottom of the league Crewe, for Christ's sake, and you're coming on the pitch. I don't know how many of you got down to Crewe and were smashed by 12. Fair play, but that was embarrassing. That's the only bit of the game I hated. I really hated it because it just looks horrible. I'm probably going to get banged.
Keep it nice. Well, no, Bailey Peacock-Farrell, as you say, kept you in the game with a superb double save
Man of the match
then,
again for me.
Yeah,
Superb.
Gregory made it a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I love them though because they had so many chances. I thought the old Wendy goals were coming through where we put 92nd goal. But again, Darren's made the team strong. And Callum Patterson this season have played up front, wing, centre back, left back, midfielder.
He does like a square peg in a round hole, does Darren?
He does.
So we will now fly through every other game in League One this Saturday. We'll finish up with Donny at Shrewsbury. That's the last one that we'll go to before we see the table. But yeah, we've said Sunderland need to get out of this division this season, and a good 2-win against Plymouth, who seem to be faltering a little bit. They started like an absolute juggernaut. Didn't look unstoppable at the start of the season, Plymouth, but started to drop off a little bit, and Plymouth fans may be looking a little bit nervy at the table, thinking, are we just going to continue this slippy slide out of the playoffs? Who knows? I think January is big for every club in League One. But the first goal for Sunderland, lovely training ground routine, and then 2-0 up fairly quickly. But Plymouth fought back. Anything to add for this one, guys?
I'd just be worried for Plymouth with Preston now because they may go after their front too.
Yeah, possibly. It seemed
Yeah,
quite an
you do get
equal
that quite a
game,
bit, don't you?
especially.
Sorry, Ian, go for it.
No, yeah, especially second half. Plymouth came more into it, but I think Plymouth were just unlucky to get Sunderland away just as this started to click. I don't know what Plymouth's Christmas games are like, but they might come well back into it. But at the moment, they are falling away quite badly.
Oh, they got Charlton next.
Cheltenham, Pompey, and then Wimbledon. So you'd expect Cheltenham and Wimbledon. You'd like to think they'd be 3 points for both of those, but the Charlton and Pompey games,
that'll be tough.
Yeah, not the kindest Christmas period for them, but not too bad. Talking about Charlton, another 2-win for them. We've said that they're ticking over very nicely with Jackson in charge. He's got to get the job, surely. Got to.
Give it him as an early Christmas present. Surely. Yeah. It's already his. He's already doing... Look at where they were to where they are now. He's already turned the corner with them. He's already got the player playing for him. I don't know if this is their owner going. I don't want to give it in just in case the results drop off. There is that aspect where you do once you've got the job with it. But I don't see that happening because he's a Charlton man through and through. He knows the club. He knows the people. So Connor Washington getting on form's annoying because he's a good player.
Yeah, he is. But any thoughts on this one? I mean, the stats are pretty tight. 12 shots each, 4 on target each. Not that much in possession either. So is the 2-0 scoreline flattering for Charlton or not? I mean, you had praise for Cambridge earlier on in the stream. So
yeah, possibly. But I think the only thing that's stopping Jackson getting the job is probably club politics. Because the fans want him. He's doing the biz. What's going on? You know, it's.
I think this is a question that we need to ask.
We've got foreign owners, haven't we? Yeah.
To be fair, that foreign owner have put a lot of money into him though, and he is making himself quite known. But yeah, might be one to get Tyler on next week if he's about and just find out what's going on.
Yeah, potentially. We've got a chat, Lucas Revel. Am I going to Lincoln away this Saturday? Unfortunately not. It's my nephew's birthday and I'm going laser questing. Looking forward to
that means Uncle Dan's going to not be sporting and get all the little kids.
Well, I'm competitive. What can I say? So on to this next game. MK Dons against Oxford, 2 decent League One teams who I expect to be in the top 6 come the end of the season. And a tight encounter that's just edged by Oxford. And to be fair, they looked a decent team against us on Tuesday night. But the second goal, absolute calamity. They've just self-destructed MK Dons in this one.
Yeah.
We're making that bad of a mistake as well because he's a good player. I was gutted that we actually didn't keep him because he was at our box and then went to Blackburn as well. And Oxford, they're ticking away, aren't they? Nicely, they're getting into a good little groove at the minute, and they were so close last season. So it'll be interesting to see if they just push on and do like a Blackpool and just go for it.
Yeah, definitely. Any thoughts on MK Dons or Oxford, Ian?
Yeah, I think Mr. Robinson will be very happy with that result. But Oxford are a very, very good side at this level. You can't discount them. They played us a couple of weeks ago and it was a 0-0 draw. It was very, very tight and it could have gone either way. So, yeah, they're very good at this and they will be top 6, I would say, Oxford.
Yeah, they've been there for the last couple of seasons, haven't they? And maybe this is a season where they can just go that step further and be in the Championship next year. But, yeah, not a bad team. Been hit with COVID over the last couple of weeks as well. So, not seeing the impact in the results as much as what they've seen in the squad. So I think they'll be happy coming through that period relatively unscathed. But yeah, moving on to Cheltenham against Lincoln. And this is the first time this Sunday I can say ex-Rovers players scoring. It's Alfie May once again. It's Matty Blair once again. Alfie May into double figures. And it was Darren Moore who let him go, said that he wasn't good enough at this level. So
sorry about that.
there we go. But I think Lincoln will be relatively pleased with a draw here. Well, I say relatively pleased. They've gone one.
I think Lincoln will be the more pleased of the two.
Yeah.
But they're still not winning. They're getting the odd point here and there, but they're still not winning games, Lincoln. And that's what makes me worry for them.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Lincoln look like they've won it on the 91st minute, and then Matty Blair pops up at the death to salvage a point. So, as you say,
Matty
Lincoln,
Blair loves last minute goal, like I know.
You know about that one far too well.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I think Cheltenham will be one of those teams who have come up from League Two will be more than comfortable. Said it earlier in the video. Lincoln looking to be getting dragged into that bottom 4 fight. Fleetwood back-to-back wins. So Nappers is happy once again, and unfortunately for Gills in the Blood TV, it's against his team. And we mentioned it earlier on that they're looking some bother, and we can't really see how they're going to be getting out of it. Fought back a little bit, but this makes them winless in 8, which is not a great start for Gills.
You worry for his job a little bit there, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before Steve Evans gets relieved of his duties. But are they a team that'd stick by the manager and hopefully see if he can get them out of it?
Depends on Mr. Scally, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the thing is with Gills, if they're losing to the teams around them, they really are in serious trouble.
Yeah.
As Dan can probably testify for that.
Yeah.
I just can't see a way out. They are really, really poor.
Yeah, like you said, you kind of at this stage of the season, you wanted to put the division into mini tables as such. So you guys will be looking at the top 8 or 10. We're looking at the bottom 5 or 6. when you're coming up against teams in and around that kind of play, that area, you're wanting to take points off them. So Fleetwood will be absolutely buzzing with that result because it's pulled them out of the drop zone and starting to get them a little bit of a cushion.
How many teams who have changed manager suddenly getting that bit of relief? Hey, Tyler is here.
Tyler's dropped in. Bit late to the party here, but Jackson is now our most successful manager in history after the first 10 games in charge. Give him the goddamn job. So that's from a Charlton fan. Great content creator as well. Go ahead and check him out. He's been on the show before as well. But yeah, by the sounds of it, everybody's wanting Jackson to be in the job. Why has he not got it yet, Tyler? Let us know.
Yeah.
We're as interested as you. Moving on to Accrington against Bolton. So a Lancashire derby for this one. We mentioned it earlier in the video, Accrington, a very tough place to go.
Yeah.
And they won this one. They edged it on the 20th minute. Any thoughts on this one, Ian?
Well, as I said before, Accrington, if you go there not expecting a battle, you're going to lose. Possibly Bolton wasn't really up to it because I don't think Mr. Everett was very pleased after the game. But Accrington will always give you a game. They'll always create chances. They'll muscle in. They'll bully you. and it's a result I actually expected.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hello.
Breaking news. He's set to get the job this week, sources are saying. I hope that's true because he's done
I hope
a
so. He's
fantastic
done a fantastic job. And
I have also noticed Dor on Tours popped in as well. You're right, Dor, another good content creator. Go and check him out on YouTube.
slumming it
I
in
do
the
like giving
League
shout
One.
outs to
He's
other
slumming it in
content
the
creators.
league. He's slumming it out in the League One. Are you all right?
He's just come for chat, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, good result for Accrington. They'll be very happy with that one. Wigan against Ipswich. So this one was a surprising result for me. As we say, Ipswich underachieving a little bit, in our opinion. Wigan fighting till the death. This time, we were 1-0 up on the 22nd minute. James Norwood, who had been exiled a little bit under Paul Cook, comes back and makes his point. Any thoughts on this one, Jake?
It's a strange one because Wigan, you think a team like Ipswich, they're gonna at home, they're just gonna steamroll them, and Ipswich turned up actually and put a bit of a game there. And I was expecting Wigan to do better than they did because of how they've been doing, but Ipswich have got a little bit of a never say die. They want to put something. I think they all know that they've underachieved. They all know they should be a lot bigger and better where they are now. And it's one of those situations where whatever happens, whoever gets that job, they've got a massive job on them, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be a tough job because it was hard enough as it was getting all the players into gel. Now throwing a new manager in it, it's going to be even harder.
Do you think Ipswich is a case of a squad of individuals rather than an actual squad of...
They don't seem like a team, do they? They seem a little bit like they're playing for the Sens, and the moment you start playing for your Sens, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it just seems a little bit disjointed at Portman Road at the minute. Moving on to Wickham against Wimbledon, and this one was a bit of a surprise result as well. It destroyed my accumulator. Thank you very much. I thought Wickham would be easy winners. But yeah, I mean, Wimbledon take an early lead. Akinfenwa's goal, absolutely superb. His strength is out of this world. Holds him off, turns, lovely lobbed goal. Wimbledon look like they've won it on the 92nd minute, but then Jacobson on the 96th with a penalty. Definite penalty in my opinion, and he slotted it away under pressure. Anything to add for this game, Ian?
Well, to be quite honest, if you've got a spot kick or a free kick in the 90th minute in League One, you either want Jacobson or Danny Andrew to take it because you know they're not going to fail. They've got the two of the best set piece deliveries in the league. Wimbledon, I expected them to make it life difficult for Wickham because they're a horrible team to play against. But I was coming out to New York Stadium thinking Wickham had lost, so when I saw it with 2-2, I was a little bit disappointed, but there you go. It's a good
that would have
result
been a good result for you guys, wouldn't it? On to the penultimate game of the weekend before we finish off with Donny against Shrewsbury. Portsmouth 2, Morecambe 0. And manager of the month curse, that's nowhere to be seen, is it? It's done very, very well. First goal, you guys seen it?
Yeah,
it seems.
well, pinball, weren't it? I mean,
it's like something you see on FIFA. It's hit the crossbar, it's hit the post again, and then Arnes comes in and fires it into the back of the net.
It was very Sunday League, wasn't it? Kind of thing. Everyone come over from the night before. It was like, we're playing football all of a sudden. Just kick it anywhere.
All it needed, it was just missing the Benny Hill music over the top, and I think that would have just made it. But no, Pompey looking good value for the win, to be fair, and they're ticking over nicely as well. They're in some good form at the minute. Manager of the month.
It makes me so happy we've got that draw against them midweek because without their playing at the minute, Danny Carley's starting to get something out of them now, and it's interesting seeing him being given. It's a case of a club that normally doesn't give managers time, getting the time, and you've seen the results now.
Yeah, definitely. And again, like you said earlier, Ian, Stockton not on the score sheet. Morecambe lose.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's pretty sad. But Pompey, yeah, they're reasonable at this level. I still don't think the top six material, though. I still think they're defensively weak. Oh, all right, they have got a clean sheet against Morecambe, but they're not going to be playing Morecambe every week. They'll always score goals, but I just don't think probably the top six. I can't see them getting there. Seventh or eighth probably, but I'm just doubtful.
I think Gither Cowley's another one or two transfer windows. Potentially, they're going to be getting more players in and build a squad which is capable of fighting towards the top end of the table. But I think I'm on the same page as you with that one, Ian. 8th, 9th, something like that would be where I'd expect them to finish this season. And the final game of the episode before we take a look at the table and finish off was the 6-pointer towards the bottom end of League One, Donny against Shrewsbury. And I had a bit of a wobble last week. I was getting frustrated. I was very negative. I was ready for packing it in. Ian got in touch, as did a lot of people, asking me not to pack it in and just carry on regardless. And even if it was negative stuff, they'd put up with it for a little bit. But that negativity went away this weekend because it was a fantastic performance. It wasn't a world-beating performance. We were bottom of the table. But I think what we saw was desire, fight, and a little bit of belief from the players that they are actually better than the position says that they are. We huffed and puffed a little bit. Shrewsbury made it very difficult to break them down, but a superb delivery from Horton from the corner, and Joseph Olowu rose highest to head home 11 minutes from time, and then it was a nervy 11 minutes. Shrewsbury tried to turn the screw, but a vital 3 points for Donny.
I will say,
Olowu is God. I agree.
Yeah.
What a win! Love that. And a quick one from Andrew RFC.
This one, Mick McCarthy does not come anywhere near South Yorkshire. He said it in so many interviews. He tried to stay away from round here because he's got family, and it doesn't sound like it's a good family situation. Whenever he's with any South Yorkshire teams, I'm always like, he doesn't like coming that far anymore. He might be from here. So
I would have thought Mick McCarthy had managed Barnsley before now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, everyone thinks he would have done that and been the right person to go in and sort them, but for some reason, he's got a thing about coming back up north, and he's just not a fan. If you look at where he's managed teams, it's never that far.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So
that's a shame because I'd have snapped his hand off for Mick McCarthy at Donny. Very, very good manager, and I think we need somebody like that, a good man manager, and somebody who'd kind of pump a little bit of positivity into the team. But Gary McSheffrey and Frank Sinclair are doing a good enough job at the minute. Potentially it's theirs to lose. So
it's always interesting watching teams lose and suddenly things start looking like it's clicking, and it's always like, well, what was going wrong?
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever find out, but it'd be nice to one day. So just to finish off, we'll take a quick look at the table and what these results have done. I'm the same with that. If it's Copeland, I'm done. It's tough. It's a tough one. Who I'd have as gaffer.
Well, we know who you had. You'd be sleeping in your back bedroom.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Warnock, I'd take Cook.
Atkins.
Yeah, Atkins. Until we get a list of people who have gone for the job, I don't think we'll know really. But
all I keep saying about Rovers stuff is the new naming is your stadium. I've actually seen not much about your manager situation. It's weird.
Still don't know what the stadium is going to be called, so we'll find out. I think tomorrow we'll find out. But yeah, the results. So
one comment, Dan. One comment. Don't get Alan Stubbs. He's useless.
No.
Yeah, don't get Alan Stubbs. Please don't go for Alan Stubbs.
You know what? The club should look at that. And when he was linked to Donny Rovers, the amount of Rotherham fans that were hoping that he came to Donny Rovers, they should see that as a red flag and just deliberately not take him.
Yeah, I'm not.
on board
Also,
anyway.
don't go near Gary Monk.
Wow. There's not many left. But no, onto the table. So the results, a positive result for Sheffield Wednesday against Crewe, put them back at the foot of the table, which our result lifted us to 23rd, and it was a massive game. Shrewsbury was 6 points ahead of us. They're now only 3. So that table's looking, well, it's not looking healthy, but it's looking much healthier than what it could have done. Fleetwood's win against Gillingham helped us out as well. Morecambe losing has dropped them into that bottom 4. So if they lose Stockton in January, I do worry for them. Big game this weekend for the Rovers, playing 18th position Lincoln, who are on 22 points. So that's another game where if we win that one, we're closing the gap on the teams above us coming into this massive January for us. We've mentioned Wimbledon, Cambridge and Cheltenham. I think they'll be relatively comfortable in the division this season. They will be looking over the shoulders at the minute, but they should be okay. And now we come on to the top half of the table where you two guys can come in and tell us about your team. So Sheffield Wednesday in 7th. Thoughts, Jake?
Really turned the corner. We're 12 unbeaten. First time in 3 years, which is club of our size. You think that's a bit ludicrous, but it shows you what Darren Moore's actually doing. And there's still a lot of people turning around and saying Darren Moore shouldn't have the job and stuff, but he's doing the business. He's getting us defensively solid. We just need to start scoring more goals. And we're in and about it, and that's the main thing. If we're still battling round around Christmas time, I'm happy because we have slight Christmas hangover. But my worry for Wednesday is our owner back in town at the moment, and yeah, who knows?
Doesn't bode well. But looking at the table, you're only just outside of the playoffs on goal difference, and there's only 1 goal in it. We mentioned earlier Plymouth are on a little bit of a slippy slide down. If that continues, that's positive for Sheffield Wednesday. The rest of the top 6 made up of Oxford, Wickham, Sunderland on 39, and then there's 3 teams on 42 points. This is how tight it is: Wickham, Sunderland, and Wigan. Wigan have got a game in hand over Rotherham. Thoughts, Ian? Is it going to stay as it is? Are you going to get automatic? Do you think you'll slip into the playoffs? Or just tell us what you're thinking about that top 6 at the minute?
It all depends on January. Michael Smith, our striker, is in the last year of his contract. So his contract's up for renewal in June. Nothing's been signed yet. Hopefully we can keep him in January because another promotion on his CV, he can walk away free then. I'm just hoping we can keep Chio Benny, our right winger, Ireland international. And also, I want him to keep hold of the midfield triangle, Barlaser, Wiles and Rathbone. They are the key players that we need to keep hold of in January. And if we do, I think we'll be promoted automatically. Hopefully champions.
Yeah, you're looking very strong this season, to be fair. And you mentioned a lot of players there that you're wanting to keep, but I think the squad depth that you guys have got is decent. It's championship level, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm hoping so.
To be fair, Rotherham were always really good at building a squad for championship, getting it a championship, but never had been able to stay there. So when they come down, they're already a championship squad there. So they always do quite well in league. What these things, people will say, oh, you're a rival, and they should say, but it would be nice to see Rotherham actually try and stay in the championship and just throw a chance at it because you'd always been that yo-yo team.
Yeah, it's
League One Man City, Ian. You've got 2 11s.
Well, we have, to be honest, and I've never noticed that before. Well, I've never had that privilege before, but we have. We could put 2 sides out, both of which could easily survive in League One. Yeah,
definitely. Feel free to send some of them our way. We don't live too far away from each other, mate. We'll have
a load of defenders if you've got any.
I think defenders is the one area that we struggle in.
Oh,
yeah, because
in there.
There's not I would like to say to you, to be quite honest with you.
But no, thank you guys for joining me this evening and talking through League One this week. Tuesday and Saturday, it's always a bumper episode. We're almost at an hour. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think it just gets far too easy talking about football with good people. So thank you for spending some of your evening with me on the channel. Thank you everybody for joining us as well and being very active in the chat. It's been a wonderful hour. Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Please head over to Ian's D3, D4 football channel. That'll be linked in the description down below. Jake's Punkchef 41 is also in the description down below. Don't forget the Talking Wednesday podcast as well. Yep. So plugs for you guys. Have I missed anything? Is there any plugs?
That's it.
Miss? All good here? Beautiful. We're on fire. So thank you once again for joining us this evening. Hope you've all enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed to me as well, please go ahead and do so.
Don't say plug yourself.
No, plug everybody else and forget myself. So thank you for watching it. If you've enjoyed it, stick a few thumbs up on it for us, please. Comment in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.